Unless you've been living under a rock, this week has been incredibly trying for game developers everywhere. You got Rocksteady dealing with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League leaks. You have Rockstar, who recently just announced the consequences that will be given to the person who leaked GTA 6 clips a while back. And it's been a rough couple of days for Insomniac Games. I've tread it very lightly when talking about this, and as the situation has grown, I'm realizing more and more that people in the gaming community have been handling this the entirely wrong way. So much of that has been incredibly obvious, but there are some instances where even the verbiage we've been using might have been less obvious to some folks. So today, Insomniac actually issued a statement in regards to this entire situation. It's something that I'm not sure a lot of people expected. I almost wasn't expecting them to, because things have just been carrying on business as usual on social media. I figured behind the scenes, legal team, people at Sony higher ups, we're trying to figure out a situation moving forward. In case you didn't see it, I'll share it with you here. Thank you for the outpouring of compassionate, unwavering support. It's deeply appreciated. We're both saddened and angered about the recent criminal cyber attack on our studio. Pay attention to that and the emotional toll it's taken on our dev team. We focused inwardly for the last several days to support each other. We are aware that the stolen data includes personal information belonging to our employees, former employees, and independent contractors. And it also includes early development details about Marvel's Wolverine for PlayStation 5. We continue working quickly to determine what data was impacted. This experience has been extremely distressing for us. We want everyone to enjoy the games we develop as intended and as our players deserve. However, like Logan, Insomniac is resilient. Marvel's Wolverine continues as planned. The game is in early production and will no doubt greatly evolve throughout development, as do all our plans. While we appreciate everyone's enthusiasm, we will share official information about Marvel's Wolverine when the time is right. On behalf of everyone at Insomniac, thank you for your ongoing support during this challenging time. And now remember, I said to pay attention to that verbiage. The fact of the matter is, and I have been guilty of this too, a lot of us have been referring to this as leaks. We've been calling the people who started this ransomware attack leakers as well, and that's not exactly the case. And James Stevenson, community director over at Insomniac, actually made a post earlier today that kind of opened my eyes to that part of the situation. He had made this post: stolen data is not leaked info, criminal hackers, not leakers, pirated builds, not leaked demos. And that's the thing, we've been referring to this entire situation in the similar fashion as when there's insider info, there's people who are like, oh, you know, I'm close with some people who have worked at XYZ studio, or I've been able to see a little bit of early footage at like maybe some events or something like that. This situation is not the same as that. This was a literal crime. This was a threat to cybersecurity. People have been making jokes too, like, oh, this just teaches them to beat up the cybersecurity. There's a whole lot of not reading the room in this entire situation. And I think just as a gaming community, again, myself included, we need to do better. I had a previous video where I covered an article about this, not showing any leaks, but then realizing, you know, maybe the terminology even in it is the inherent problem in how some of us have been covering this entire situation. I actually was compelled to respond to James and even say I will be changing my language when discussing about this going forward, because he's right. Both set of actions are wrong. Like, you know, leak culture in general has completely gotten out of hand, but this entire situation isn't even the same as your run-of-the-mill leak culture that we're used to in the gaming, entertainment, movie, film industry. Both sets of actions are wrong, but there's a large difference right now. And I mean, it's like when in American news, you see people say troubled individual instead of domestic terrorist, when there's a certain situation where lives are threatened or lost by someone who makes a incredibly poor and criminal, heinous decision. So I guess the point of me making this video is to just express my learning from this and say that we as a gaming community, we've got to be more mindful in these situations, how we're going about it. It's been really frustrating to see people say, oh, well, you know, this just gives us something to talk about. And there are people whose lives are really affected right now. When you think about that personal information, the fact that there are people who aren't even at Insomniac anymore, who, you know, they maybe just had archived data just for record keeping purposes and auditing that. Now that's out there. One of the developers talked about having to freeze one of their child's accounts, like savings accounts, because like that information is compromised. And it's a real problem. It's not just a matter of, oh, we know some stuff about some games now. I was even going back and forth with Comic Blast Keenan. You know, he had said, as a creator, I always try my best to do the right thing and be a source of positivity. But if I ever make a mistake or handle something poorly, I would hope someone would reach out and talk to me. I want to be accountable always. And again, it's kind of what compelled me to make this video, because seeing the words of the devs has made me reflect. And even though I've always done my best to do this in a right and meaningful way, when I made the previous video covering this, I was like, you know, I'm not going to show anything. We're just merely talking about this portion that there's like an article and people are reporting on. But, you know, I question, like, am I doing that the right way and as best I can? And I can already say, you know, the answer is no, because again, I wasn't even using the right language for this entire situation, like James Stevenson pointed out. And lastly, within the reflection that I've had, I had actually said the other day, I feel like at this point, when it comes to Marvel's Wolverine, at least for me personally, I'm not going to tell anyone else what to do, but it's hard to even find a way to continue making videos just from here on out for the foreseeable future, especially while the situation unfolds, while, you know, the people who are responsible have not been able to be found, while Insomniac is going through this time. Things like making wish lists or my theory videos that I come up with, it doesn't feel like a space that I want to even foster the environment to bring up more information that should not be public right now and exacerbates what the studio is going through. I know this is a little bit of a different video than what I have been doing mainly on the channel. You guys haven't even seen me on cam in quite a while, but I felt that it was important to just get on here and share my reflection of everything that's been going on, and just maybe provide an avenue to educate others who maybe are, you know, unsure of what to do in the situation right now. Be sure to keep Insomniac just in you guys' thoughts, lift them up, give them support if you really do enjoy them as a developer. I want to continue to drive home the idea that we need to respect and uplift these developers who make the products that we love so much a possibility. A lot of online people have been saying, no, I'm fans, like I love their games and all this stuff. And what's not been helping them is to basically ask questions like, oh, so is this confirmed, or does that mean this? And it's just, again, read the room situation. I've seen a lot of people come into comments and threads asking certain questions about things that they maybe have seen circulating online directly to developers or voice actors or mocap actors and everything like that. And it's not okay. We got to do better as a gaming community. That's all there is to it. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate you. I hope you have been enjoying the content on the channel. 2024, we're gonna see a lot of different changes coming. I appreciate you sitting through me sounding like this. I'm just getting over being a little bit sick, but my name is Jay Phrygian, and I will catch you in a future video. Peace out.